Wishing Happy New Year to all of you. This is our first webinar of 2021, and thanks for joining in that large number. This indicates that all these export incentive schemes, MEIS, SEIS, RoadTEP, these are very important for most of you. But the main question is, just like it is important for you, on similar lines, is government reciprocating? Is Make in India a serious commitment from the government, or it's just an empty slogan? So we'll be addressing some of these questions today while discussing MEIS, RoadTEP, and SEIS schemes. So in today's webinar, we'll be covering end of MEIS and fate of SEIS scheme, RoadTEP concept and procedure, the key issues, and lastly, the way forward. Now, starting with MEIS and SEIS. So in March 2020, the foreign trade policy was extended till March 2021. On April 15th, the government clarified that the MEIS will be applicable till December 2020. In September 2020, the government put a cap of 2 crores per exporter plus an overall cap also. They made a budget of 5,000 crores for this 4-month period from September to December 2020. Important to note that in September 2020 itself, the government notified that MEIS scheme will not apply after December 2020. So there's a statutory notification that January 2021 onwards, MEIS scheme will not be available. Now, going ahead, the first issue which we want to discuss is this cap on MEIS, which is 2 crore per exporter. So the government justified that 90%, 98% of exporters remain unaffected by it. But is this cap valid? So exporters have already challenged this amendment in Delhi and Gujarat High Court. In Delhi High Court, the matters are likely to come up for hearing in January. In Gujarat High Court, the admission hearing took place in December and it has been admitted. So the exporters have challenged this cap on the following grounds. Firstly, on the ground of promissory estoppel, that once the government had promised MEIS till December 20 or March 21, it cannot bring a cap in between. They are invoking legitimate expectation that once the government assured MEIS till December 2020, so exporters had legitimate expectation that this benefit will be available. The cap has a retrospective operation, which is not permissible because this will also apply for export contracts entered before September 2020, wherein exporters did not factor this. It is discriminatory because it discriminates large exporters. And lastly, it is not in the public interest. Therefore, if any of you are affected by this MEIS cap, you should challenge this amendment. Even if the ruling comes, it will be company specific only, because the company needs to put specific facts on record, like the exports, impact, the manner of pricing, etc. Moving ahead on SEIS, the situation is equally bleak. In March 2020, when the foreign trade policy was extended till March 21, as far as the year 1920 is concerned, so the government issued a notification in March 20 that for 1920, eligible services and rates will be notifying in due course. And for in last 9 months, the government has not notified. There is no clarity as well. as to when it will be notified. As far as 2021 is concerned, in the same notification, the government indicated that it will decide whether SEIS scheme will be continued or not. In November 25, in Economic Times, so this was a quote from a government official that we are looking at new form of SEIS, what could be upper limits, new beneficiaries, new services. So this indicated a total reversal of their earlier stand that SEIS scheme will be continued and the rates may be included, the service categories may be expanded, etc. But as far as SEIS is concerned, as on date also no clarity is there. So many service exporters have this doubt that can promissory estoppel be invoked for SEIS, or can this be challenged in the courts, etc. So in our view, as far as 2019-20 is concerned, yes, because when someone was making service exports during 2019-20, there was a reasonable assurance that this benefit will be available to them. So for 19-20, this legal challenge continues. If government eventually does not issue SEIS rates or they curtail the same. But for 2021, because the government has clearly indicated in March 20 itself that they will decide on continuation of SEIS, so a legal challenge may not hold true. At same point of time, the industry bodies should strongly represent government to issue this SEIS notification rates, etc., as soon as possible. Now coming to RoadTEP. So this was a roadmap, just to understand, because it's a new concept, that in October 2019, the government, the WTO gave the ruling where most of Indian export schemes like MEIS, SCOs, EOU, SEZ, etc., they were held to be violative of ASCM. In March 2020, the government announced RoadTEP scheme in line with WTO ruling. In March 2020 itself, the cabinet approved the scheme. The government issued a press release which contained salient features of RoadTEP. So these are the salient features of RoadTEP which are relevant for you. So RoadTEP seeks to reimburse all non-credited duties and taxes incurred in manufacture of export goods. So the overall concept the government had is that they have given various export incentive schemes like duty drawback, advance authorization, GST refunds, it's EPCG, etc., etc. But still, while making export goods, there are a number of duties and taxes whose costs are being borne, which are not being refunded, like VAT and excise duty on fuel, electricity duty, stamp duty, even input tax credit of GST, which is inadmissible, like section 17(5) credits, duties and taxes which are incurred at your supplier's end. So these are the taxes which were not otherwise exempted or refunded. These were sought to be refunded through RoadTEP. So RoadTEP is a benefit over and above what you are getting till now. So the benefit will be granted as a percentage of FOB value of export goods, very similar to duty drawback. So the rate fixed for your product is 2% and FOB value is 100. You will get a benefit of 2%. The benefit will be given in the form of scrips in electronic ledger. And these scripts can be used for two purposes. You can use it yourself for payment of customs duty on imported goods, or you can transfer them as well, just like MEIS. On August 10th, CBIC sought data. from various industry associations, etc. On October 28th, CBIC sought data only for export products of chapter 86, 88, and 89. So this was giving an indication that initially RoDTEP will be brought for few sectors only. In fact, the news reports were that it will be brought for 3 sectors, which will be ready-made garments, automobile and automobile components, and iron and steel. But on 31st December, on New Year Eve, the government has implemented RoDTEP for all export products. And again, just like many steps which the government has taken in the past, this seems to have been done hurriedly without even getting data from most of the sectors. Few other points related to RoDTEP: rates are yet to be notified. Many of the industry associations have not even submitted the data, so we don't know on what basis the government will fix the rates. For claiming this benefit, the exporters need to make declaration on the shipping bills. The government has built some checks like RoDTEP benefit cannot be simultaneously claimed with advance authorization or EOU. We'll be discussing whether these checks are legally valid or not. Very importantly, the custom authorities will also have an option to suspend the scrips which are granted to an exporter. Now, coming to the procedure, the exporter needs to make a declaration in shipping bill. Once EGM is filed, the claim will be processed by customs authorities. This will lead to generation of credits through scrolls. Exporters need to create a credit ledger account, and then these credits are converted into scrips. But at present, only the declaration in shipping bill part can be made. Rest of all the steps have been disabled now in the government portal. Those will be enabled once the rates are being notified. As far as multiple shipping bills are concerned, if they belong to a single port, they can also be clubbed for generation of a single script. Some of the points to ponder. So the press release which have been recently issued that mentions that there will be certain category of exports which will be excluded. Again, there is no clarity which category of exports will be excluded, why it will be excluded, will it be product wise or will it be supplier wise like a EOU, SEZ, etc. But the whole rationale seems to be missing, because if the government intends to encourage exports and they want to reimburse whatever duties and taxes are incurred in relation to that, then there should not be any logic for excluding any set of exports. If there are exports on which there are no tax incidents, then that's a different thing. Otherwise, all exports should be eligible for RoDTEP, whether it is products, whether it's EOUs, whether it is SEZs, whatever taxes have been incurred, those should be eligible for exports. Similarly, there are questions like whether exports to particular countries like Nepal and Iran, those will be eligible. As of now, there is no clarity. The government may bring it in the excluded category of exports, but again, in our view, if there is a duty incidence, even the exports to Nepal, even the exports to Iran, those should be eligible for RoDTEP benefit. Second, another very important aspect is what are the grounds on which the credit scripts will be suspended? Those are not specified. Will this power be misused by them, or the government will restrict it to fraudulent cases only? So this is also an important point to be seen. Third, whether GST will be applicable on scripts. Fortunately, no, because just like MEIS, etc., this is also a duty credit script. So there'll be no GST which is applicable. But yes, it will constitute as an exempt supply. So similar to sale of MEIS scripts, exporters need to do proportionate ITC reversal while selling these scripts. Now we'll run a short poll where we want to seek your feedback. So the poll question is, does RoadTep scheme adequately replaces MEIS scheme or not? So the options are yes, no, or not sure. So we request you to use the poll box and put your answers. We'll wait for next 15 seconds. So it'll help us in understanding what industry feels. So many participants are there. It will give us a perspective that is industry appreciating RoadTep scheme, or they are finding it challenging, or what is your take? So just last 5 seconds, please exercise your poll option. Does RoadTep scheme adequately replaces MEIS scheme or not? Yes, no, or not sure. So we'll end the poll now. Share result. Share result. So these are the results. It's unfortunate 61% of the participants feel that they are not sure whether RoadTep scheme is adequately replacing MEIS scheme or not. 22% firmly believe that it does not replace. Only 17% of participants feel that yes, it does replace. So we move ahead. Now coming to the key issues from RoadTep. One, the most concerning part, that there is no statutory provision for RoadTep as of now. There is no change in the customs law. There is no formal notification amending foreign trade policy. There is no notification otherwise. Only through press releases, advisories, this whole scheme has been brought in. So it's very, very unfortunate that the government on one hand says that they want to encourage exports, and they bring such an important scheme for exporters in a hurried manner. The government has not even given a time frame by when these notifications or statutory changes will be made. As per the press release, there'll be conditions, restrictions, ineligible categories of exports, etc., which will be issued in due course. But apart from assuring that this benefit will be available from January 2021, there is no other statutory document in place. So in our view, from day one, this scheme will be under dispute. Second, initially the government sought data for all export products. Then they sought data only for 3 chapters of 86, 88, and 89. So many of the industry associations have not yet submitted the data. So we don't know that once RoadTep committee does not have the data from industry at first place, then how will they fix the rates? And even if now the industry bodies start collating and submitting, and then the RoadTep committee verifies, in our view, it may take many months for the rates to be issued, unless government applies some its own logic on itself and fixes the rate. Thirdly, as we discussed, rates have not been notified, no time frame given when it will be. Fourthly, as far as utilization of scripts, it's not clear for what purposes it can be utilized. At one place, the press release mentioned that it can be used for BCD only, but are there any other customs duties like SWS, IGST it can be used? So this has also needs to be clarified. Fifth, which we discussed earlier, one most important point is that as far as advance authorization is concerned, so the present shipping bill format which has been amended, So they have made advance authorization and RoadTap as mutually exclusive. So in our view, one, this is totally legally incorrect. This is for the reason that the whole concept of RoadTap was that it was over and above the existing refund and exemption schemes. Therefore, advance authorization, EPCG, duty drawback, GST refunds, all those go in line with RoadTap. RoadTap is a benefit in addition to that. So to that extent, that mutual exclusivity brought on portal is incorrect. Similarly, as far as advance authorization is concerned, even their format of August 2020, that clearly indicated that it is over and above advance authorization. Still, they have inbuilt this check. Now, coming to EOUs or SEZs, it seems that the government is not likely to give this RoadTap benefit to them. But again, this defies any logic because even these units and zones, they incur these taxes, etc. So benefit should be available. So the export associations have made a formal representation a couple of days back that this benefit should be extended to EOUs and SEZs as well. Last, which is more a commercial point, that because there is so much ambiguity, so fixation of price of export goods itself becomes challenging because the exporters do not know what will be the rate. So today as MEIS, they may be getting 1, 2, 3%, etc., which they factor as their income. But in the absence of rates, etc., it needs to be seen how will you fix price of your export goods. Now coming to the last part on the way forward. So most important and urgent thing all of you must do is assess how much duties and taxes are incurred for your export products, file data with RoadTap committee on priority. And second and last is that you should represent government to immediate fix the rates and clarify the various open issues which we have discussed till now. So this is a brief overview on RoadTap and status of MEIS and SEIS. We'll be conducting another webinar on RoadTap once the formal notifications are issued. So with this, we come to end of our session. Again, thank you for joining in large number, and we'll get back to you with our Nitya Roundup January edition in next week. Thank you.